Simpson, who is in the dock tomorrow for taking part in the occupation of the Tory Party HQ at Millbank, just round the corner, it should be the police officers that dragged Jody McIntyre from his wheelchair and inadvertently hit him with the baton. Those are the people that should be in the dock today, not the people that stood up and protested against government cuts. So what I want to do now is I just want to bring a few people forward just to say a few words. And first up, I want to actually call up Bryan Simpson.
Hi guys, I just wanted to express my kind of solidarity. It's quite upsetting actually to speak to him when he's right in front of me, because I thought he was going to be in the court now and I could do this big heartfelt message to him. But Alfie means a lot to me, not only for the Defend the Right to Protest movement, because unfortunately he is now the symbol not only of the brutality of the Metropolitan Police, but also the courage of the student movement. He's someone who has made clear from the outset that he is wanting to fight this, and that he is wanting to send a clear message to the government that he is not only against the cuts, and he was very fundamental at his university, Middlesex University, fighting against those cuts. And that's why he came to such high profile at his own university. But he's a symbol of a movement now that we need to take on the government, because the hypocrisy, the grand hypocrisy at play at the moment with David Cameron and Nick Clegg is that while they go over, the William Haigs go over and meet with the protesters in Tahrir Square in Benghazi, at the same time what they're saying to the protesters, the pro-democracy protesters in Britain, is that we don't have the right to defend our welfare state, to defend the public sector that we all rely on. Something that's been attacked. The housing benefits, especially in London, are being halved, and that is going to throw millions of the poorest people in this city and some of the poorest cities in Britain on the scrap heap. And unemployment is going up as well. Why don't we? Why shouldn't we be fighting back against that? We have the right to do that, and now we're being threatened with imprisonment for doing so. And I think, absolutely, if we don't defend the right to protest, then we are absolutely defenceless against the ideological attack that's been waged against all of us. That's why every single one of us needs to be behind Alfie Meadows today. Every single one of us needs to be behind every protester that is facing charges. Because if we start to differentiate between the good protester and the bad protester, if we start to say that there is property damage and there is good protesting, if we start to say what Aaron Porter said within 2 hours of Millbank, and let down the vast majority of the student movement who do feel like we have got to take non-violent direct action, then that is us playing into the hands of David Cameron and Nick Clegg, because they want to divide this movement by saying that there is good and bad protesters. There is only one type of protester, and that is the protester that stands up and takes direct action against what they see to be regressive means to govern a country. So I would say to you that we have to stand behind people like Alfie. I would hope that you would come down tomorrow as well. There are buses coming down from Glasgow tomorrow to defend myself and to defend the protesters that will be up in court tomorrow. So I would urge you all to come down tomorrow, and we need to stay here for as long as possible until Alfie comes out of court. But please show solidarity today and tomorrow and on the 4th of July, because if the Fortnum and Mason protesters, if the Millbank occupiers, if those who chose to occupy the Trafalgar Square, if they go down, then the anti-austerity movement goes down with it. Because if they're able to take down trade unionists like myself, I'm looking at 3 years in jail for being on a megaphone, for shouting at police officers, for apparently being in an illegal occupation. If I'm looking at 3 years for that, then anybody in the next few years who wants to take direct action against this government will be looking at a prison sentence. So if we go down, we all go down. So we need to make sure of that. But thanks very much for listening. Please come along tomorrow as well.